Hey there folks, it's Sunday update. Update. Yeah, that. It's Sunday. Hey, so today's Sunday. I know, we're going to the dog park later. I know, I love you too. I have been an organizing freak zone. It's been a very interesting week. So, I didn't mention this in the last video because it just didn't seem relevant. So, last Friday, not this one that just came by like over a week ago, that one, I was triggered. It was an interesting spiral that occurred. My anxiety was really high, and it's been really high. Still kind of is. It's coming down. Definitely is. I got a shower in today, which is just amazing, and I put a flower in my hair. So I became an organizing freak zone. It's so overwhelming. It's so tiring. I get into these planning modes. It can be about absolutely anything. However, it does tend to revolve around a couple of themes. Themes like food and exercise and being a good dog mom, and it starts out harmless enough, especially around food. It can appear relatively normal, just planning out like what I'm going to eat for the next week, so that way I can plan my grocery shopping trip. Like I've explained before, I plan what I'm going to eat, and I eat the same thing for 7 days in a row. It's budget friendly. It also helps avoid any binging, because I know that I'm going to eat the same thing the next day, especially if I like it. That's really good. If I don't like it, then we gotta replan. I make a grocery list, and then I rewrite the grocery list depending on which grocery store I'm going to, and I organize it based on like the way I pass through the grocery store, so that way I don't have to keep going back and forth in a grocery store. It just makes it very smooth. It helps calm me down because I can see myself progressing through the grocery list, and then once I see that I'm at the bottom, I take a moment to make sure, sometimes if I'm feeling good, I'll give myself like, okay, one thing that I want to buy that's not on the list, that I kind of want to treat myself to, usually like a chocolate bar, and then I get to check out, and it goes really smoothly. It's really fast. Happens, it's done, I'm out of there, and I go home. Except when I'm an organizing freak zone, that's not where it stops. I plan my week, I plan a few other weeks, I write the grocery lists, I rewrite the grocery lists, and I rewrite the grocery lists, and then I turns into, figuring out all the information about those, plans, and maximizing them and minimizing them, so I know what's the most and what's the least and everything in between, and how to, the worst thing I could have ever done for myself was take linear optimization. It gets to the point where then I start making plans to make meal cards and laminations, and then I'm buying cardstock and Velcro and magnets, and you don't need all that to make a meal plan. But then it gets worse, and suddenly I'm itching to open Excel and creating spreadsheets, and it gets insane. It gets tiresome, but I keep going. It gets crazy, and then I start like going insane. I do it for like several weeks in advance, and then that starts making me like food envy of like, what I'll be eating in the future, because I'm planning too far in the future, so it's too far out of reach, and then, that can subject me to binges, and it's really scary. And then I start like wondering, like, do I need to start cutting out bread? And oh, that's crazy, because now there's science out there to suggest, there's the non-celiac sensitivity, gluten is not a thing, and that, there's all these other indicators and potentials of, other food sensitivities and allergies, and it's so crazy making, and somehow I want to keep bread in the system, in my list, so that way then I can still be better than, and, find something I can hold on to that, like, makes me okay, but it doesn't make me okay because I'm still, like, trying to limit it, and I'm going insane, and it's just, I need to eat fucking food because I need energy, and I can't seem to, like, figure it out, because it's not really about that. Like, it's about, like, wanting to be perfect and wanting to be good at it and make everything sparkly. Who does that? I do. I've done it before. It takes about 2 days. 2 straight days. It takes a trip to Target to buy the cards. I buy the note cards and the laminating materials and the Velcro. And I have all the pens because I've done this so many times. I have everything I need in that regard. And then I go home and I write out everything. And the worst thing to ever happen to my life is Pinterest, because then I've got to write down all of those recipes and make them just so, and write them out. It's like, what's the protein? What's the carbohydrate? What's the fruit? What's the veggie? What's the fat? Like, I need to know my macronutrients, and then if there's too much of something, then cut it out and just make it just so. And it takes 2 days because I write it out, and then I have to laminate it. At some point I'm going to fall asleep because I'm going to be exhausted. I'm going to ignore calls from friends. I'm going to cancel any plans that I have. And then I'll finally put the Velcro on it, and I'll create the list, and it'll be done. And I'll follow it for a couple of days, religiously. At some point, I fall apart. It was a great plan. It's a great idea. But I want to follow it perfectly, and if I stop following it to the T, I get really upset, and I can't do it anymore, and I have to find a way to restart. It has to be perfect. It has to have glitter. It has to make me look clean and pressed and polished. But I'm not. Made a grocery shopping list good for Trader Joe's, and I went. I was successful. I even got stuff to make a dessert. I didn't go to Target. No Target. No glitter. I'm just trying to avoid my thoughts about what I was triggered on. I just don't want it to happen again. So I need to say a success for this week, and I'm just excited about it. So I don't know if it's really a success or just something to be excited about right now. So I'm just gonna say this. I've been invited to a writer's workshop at the National Academies of Science. So I'm really excited about it. I'm going. It's June 2nd. I'm gonna go write about science. Pretty stoked. And I want to like pack my backpack and like put my semantics stuff in it, like my binder full of semantics stuff, and I want to, grab all my rhetoric information and put it in a binder and print off all the journal articles I'm interested in right now and put them in a binder and organize them and put blank paper behind each one. I'm gonna buy new pens. And I I'd love to buy a new notebook. And just as a note, June is going to be app month for coping skills, so I'm going to review iPhone apps. I'll let you know if they're available on Android and that sort of thing, but I have an iPhone, so you're getting iPhone apps, so deal with it. I think most of them are available on the Android, so I think that'll be good. I'm going to review them and talk about like how to, using apps as a coping skill, or helpful tools in engaging in coping skills. So we'll see how that goes. That's my Sunday update. I am now going to turn this off and get ready and take Dylan to the dog park because it's pretty. I hope that you all have had a lovely weekend and have a wonderful week. See you on Tuesday.